Why do people believe in conspiracy theories? Some sound completely out there, like lizard people running the government or the earth being flat. But others, well, they make you pause. Maybe it's a powerful corporation hiding the truth, or a government cover-up that slowly starts to make sense the more you hear about it. So where do we draw the line? Why are some theories dismissed as nonsense while others gain real traction? And more importantly, what does believing in them say about us? Welcome back to Psyche Unveiled. Today we're diving into the psychology behind conspiracy theories, the real reasons why some people cling to them, how our brains are wired to seek patterns, and how social media, emotion, and even real-world experiences play into what we choose to believe. This isn't about proving or debunking any theory. It's about understanding why they resonate in the first place. Because once we see the deeper psychology, we can better protect ourselves from being manipulated, not just by conspiracy theories, but by any idea that plays on our fear, hope, or need for control. Let's start with this. Conspiracy theories have been around for centuries. The idea that a hidden group is controlling the world is not new. But today, thanks to the internet, these ideas spread faster than ever. One video, one tweet, one TikTok, and suddenly thousands are questioning what the truth actually is. The global pandemic, for example, created the perfect storm. Fear, confusion, isolation, all the ingredients that make people more open to the mainstream narrative. When people don't know who to trust, they start to fill in the blanks with whatever gives them a sense of control. Question is, are these ideas really absurd, or do they carry truth in them? Here's something most people don't realize. Our brains hate uncertainty. Psychologists call it uncertainty intolerance. When something scary or confusing happens, like a sudden crisis or an unexpected death, the mind goes into overdrive trying to find meaning. And conspiracy theories offer just that. They turn chaos into a story. The human brain simply longs for an explanation. Conspiracy theories offer one. They give a sense that someone knows what's really going on, that the chaos has a cause, and that you're not alone in feeling uneasy. That's powerful. It's not always about wild ideas. Sometimes it's about feeling less powerless. And the moment you find others who share your questions or doubts, there's a sense of belonging. It's no different than joining a group, a movement, or even a belief system that helps explain the world. The need for community and clarity is deeply human, and the so-called conspiracy thinking often fills that gap when mainstream answers feel cold or incomplete. The takeaway here is that this isn't about those people who believe weird things. It's about all of us, how our minds work when we're scared, uncertain, or searching for meaning. Whether it's a conspiracy theory, a spiritual worldview, or a philosophical stance, we all construct frameworks to help us feel safe, connected, and grounded. And that's something we can all relate to. Things is, once we find a story that makes us feel safe or seen, our brains start doing something sneaky. They look for ways to prove that story right. This is called confirmation bias, the tendency to seek out and believe information that supports what we already think, while ignoring anything that challenges it. It's not just something others do. We all do it. It's how the brain saves energy. There's also pattern recognition bias, our natural habit of finding connections, even when none exist. It helped our ancestors survive, but today it can lead us to see secret plots where there might just be coincidence or complexity. These biases don't make us broken. They make us human. But when they go unchecked, especially in emotionally charged environments, they can lead us deeper into echo chambers and farther from truth. So what's the role of social media in all of this? Social media is built to grab your attention and keep it. Behind every like or share is an algorithm that learns what you enjoy and feeds you more of it. It creates what's called an echo chamber, a space where your own beliefs are repeated back to you, reinforcing them and shutting out opposing views. And this doesn't just apply to conspiracy theories. Many types of dysfunctional content thrive in these echo chambers. Propaganda becomes more convincing when you only see one side of a story. Over time, it can reshape your understanding of what's real or normal. Sexualized content shows up more once you engage with it, shaping unhealthy ideas about relationships and body image. Infidelity and toxic relationships are normalized when repeated often enough, making harmful behavior seem acceptable or even desirable. Violent and outrage-filled content performs well because it stirs emotion. The more you react, the more it's shown, training you to expect constant drama or anger. The danger? This cycle feels natural. You might not realize your view is being shaped by repetition, not truth. What you see most starts to feel like what everyone believes, even when it's extreme or misleading. The algorithm doesn't care if content is true, it cares if you'll engage with it. And that means it often rewards what's divisive, emotional, or impulsive. To break free, we need to pause and ask, why am I seeing this? Who benefits from me believing this? We have to make room for different views, stay curious, and be intentional with what we consume. Because the echo chamber doesn't just limit what we see, it limits who we become. And it's not just conspiracy believers getting caught in this. It's all of us. One of the most powerful forces behind conspiracy theories is identity. When a belief becomes part of who you are, it's no longer just an idea, it's personal. Some people build their entire sense of self around being awake or knowing the truth. And if someone challenges that belief, it can feel like a personal attack. This is where emotion takes over logic. Neuroscience shows that once identity is involved, people resist facts that challenge them. It becomes less about the truth and more about protecting their ego. Let's take a look at some real-world examples that show how powerful and sometimes dangerous conspiracy theories and propaganda can be when they work together. One of the most famous conspiracy theories is the belief that the moon landing was faked. Despite overwhelming scientific and visual evidence, some people still believe it was a stage production. Why? Because once distrust takes root, especially toward government or institutions, it opens the door for alternative narratives, no matter how improbable they are. And when enough people share those doubts, it creates a sense of community around the belief, making it even harder to let go. But conspiracy theories don't always come from the fringes. Sometimes they come in more subtle forms, through propaganda and cultural conditioning. Let's take the cigarette industry, for example. For decades, tobacco companies ran slick advertising campaigns suggesting that smoking was sophisticated, even healthy. Doctors were shown in ads recommending cigarette brands. The truth about the harm caused by smoking was hidden, denied, or delayed, all in the name of profit. That wasn't just misinformation, it was organized, well-funded propaganda. And it worked. Millions of people became addicted while being told it was perfectly safe. One could call this a conspiracy against health, right? Something similar happened with alcohol culture. Drinking is often portrayed as normal, fun, and even essential to socializing. Ads show attractive, successful people having the time of their lives with a drink in hand. But the darker reality, addiction, mental health struggles, broken families, is rarely part of the picture. Just like with cigarettes, the harmful side of alcohol is downplayed, even though many people silently struggle with it. In both cases, we're not just talking about conspiracy theories. We're talking about how narratives are shaped to serve powerful interests. When people later uncover the truth, that they were misled, it can fuel a deep distrust in institutions, science, and the media. That distrust then becomes fertile ground for new theories to take root. And here's the deeper lesson. When people feel lied to or manipulated, they start searching for alternative truths, even if those alternatives aren't based in normal evidence. The need for certainty, safety, and control is so strong that many would rather believe in something uncommon than feel lost in a confusing world. So whether it's denying the moon landing or believing that a soft drink makes you more attractive, the psychology is similar. We're all vulnerable to persuasion, especially when the message plays to our hopes, fears, or identity. The key takeaway is this: understanding how our minds work and how stories shape our beliefs can protect us from falling too deep into misinformation. Awareness is our first line of defense. So what do you do if someone you care about believes in conspiracy theories? The worst thing you can do is mock or attack them. That just pushes them further in. Instead, ask questions. Be curious. Try to understand what emotional need the belief is filling. Often, conspiracy thinking is about feeling powerless, alone, or confused. Address those emotions with compassion, and you might create enough safety for someone to reflect. Give yourself a safe space to consider the other view too. Jordan Peterson often talks about reading and listening to people you disagree with to expand your thinking. Here's the deeper truth. Conspiracy thinking isn't just about those people, it lives in all of us. We all want control. We all want to feel safe. We all want to believe that we understand the world. Understanding the psychology of conspiracy theories isn't just about seeing why others believe them. It's about recognizing how we all use stories to make sense of things. And being a little more humble, a little more curious, and a little more kind is always a good starting point. The next time you hear a wild theory, pause. Ask yourself, what is this story really offering? Is it giving us meaning, belonging, a sense of control? Stay curious, ask better questions, and most of all, remember that behind every belief is a person with hopes, fears, and a story to tell. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who loves psychology or just wants to understand the world a little better. Until next time, stay thoughtful and stay grounded. We'll see you in the next video.